What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I just got back in the mail. So let me just hop right into these and start looking at them. This first one is postmarked from Illinois, and it is former Kansas City Royals pitcher Jim Wright on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are all coaching cards of Mr. Wright. I do have some playing cards of Mr. Wright, but I first want to point out that this is James Leon Wright and not James Clifton Wright. And I made the mistake of sending these cards to James Clifton. This is a card of James Clifton right here, not realizing what I did, and I chalked this up as even somebody that's experienced in collecting autographs for this long, I make mistakes. I was stuffing envelopes, I guess, too early in the morning or too late at night, one of the two. I wrote down the wrong Jim Wright's address. I sent these cards to that Jim Wright, and he mailed them back, said, wrong Jim Wright. So I researched, I found the right Jim Wright, and mailed these to his address in Illinois. So if you are going to write Jim Wright, make sure you have the right one. And this is James Leon Wright that I'm showing you right here, not James Clifton. And the big difference is there's a 5-year, you got to look at your date of births on the back of the cards here. I actually have another one of these off to the side here, but this is 3/3/55, Jim Wright. Where the other one I believe is a little bit older. He was born in 1950. So, getting past the Jim Wright discussion, this Jim Wright has a couple major league cards. He is featured on the rookie card with Lonnie Smith and Jim Morrison. That is this Jim Wright. Even though he didn't play a game in the major league for the Phillies, he still got on the rookie card with Jim Morrison and Lonnie Smith. So this is that Jim Wright. So, moving on to his career. Jim Wright grew up in Missouri, St. Joseph, Missouri. He was drafted by the Phillies in the 5th round in the 1973 draft out of high school. After he signed in 1973, he played his first year in the Phillies system in rookie ball, and it took him almost 7 years to work his way up through the Phillies system, which he was in AAA in 1980. But after the 1980 season, the Phillies did not protect him, and he was selected by the Kansas City Royals in the Rule 5 draft. Well, going into the 1981 season, he had to remain on the Major League roster, and he made his debut with the Kansas City Royals, where he appeared in 17 games, starting 4 of them, and having a record of 2-3. Well, the following year, the Royals decided to send him back down to AAA after he spent 7 games in the majors, all as a reliever, and he finished the year out with the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Well, after the 82 season, the Royals decided to trade him to the Chicago Cubs for a minor leaguer, and he spent 1 more year playing for the Cubs minor league affiliate before he stepped away from a player, and I believe he got into coaching. And as you can see, this is him as a coach with all Cubs affiliates right here, with the exception of this one in the corner right here. I want to say that might be the Orioles, maybe? Sorry. This is actually the Phillies organization that he's a coach in on this card with Floyd Rayford. And the biggest reason that I chose to send minor league cards is I have all of these sets, okay? And I also have this card with Floyd Rayford. Well, I want to send this card to Floyd Rayford along with my all-time Orioles card, and I thought this would look excellent with Mr. Rayford and Mr. Wright's autograph on there together. So after Jim Wright did his coaching in the minor leagues, he actually did make it up to the major leagues. After all the years in the minor leagues, Mr. Wright did get his crack at the majors again, as he was the pitching coach for the Colorado Rockies in 2002. But more prominently with the Rockies, he was their bullpen coach from 2009 to 2012. So I'm not really sure what he did from 2003 to 2008. Maybe he worked with the Rockies in some other capacity, maybe a player development rover type of job. But he finished being a bullpen coach in 2012. I'm assuming that he's now retired and, maybe he's involved with baseball in some capacity. But again, very happy to add these to my collection. Thank you, Mr. Wright, for signing those for me. All right, this next one is postmarked from Pennsylvania, and it is former Pittsburgh Pirate Edott on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Edott, as you can see, was part of the We Are Family championship Pittsburgh Pirates team. He also played briefly for the California Angels towards the end of his career. So let me tell you a little about Edott. Ott was drafted in the 1970 draft in the 23rd round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. He grew up in Pennsylvania, so he got to be drafted and play professionally for one of his home state teams. After he signed with the Pirates in 1970, he worked his way up through the Pirate system until 1974, where he got called up for 7 games, making his rookie debut in 1974. Well, in 1975, he was sent back down to AAA, where he appeared in 121 games for the Pirates affiliate, but did get a chance to appear in 5 games in 1975. Well, in 1976, he spent most of the year in the majors, but only appeared in 27 games as a backup role. From 1977, 78, 79, and 80, he was primarily used as the backup catcher to Manny Sanguillen on the great Pirates teams of that era, winning the World Series in 1979. Going into 1981, he was planning on spending another year in Pittsburgh. However, right at the beginning of the 81 season, in April, he was traded to the California Angels for first baseman Jason Thompson. After the 81 season, he re-signed with the Angels. However, in 1982, an injury limited him to no playing time, and he tried to come back in 1983 from the injury and only appeared in 2 games for the Angels minor league system and appeared in only 14 games in 1984. So after 1981, he got injured, and basically he tried to come back but couldn't after that point. More famously, he became a coach after his playing career. After his playing career, he became a coach with the Astros with his former teammate on the Pirates, Art Howell, from 1989 to 93. During this time with Houston, he's kind of remembered for getting into a fight with the Nasty Boys, Rob Dibble in particular. After his tenure with the Astros, he also coached for the Detroit Tigers from 2001 to 2002. After his time with Detroit, he would go on to coach different teams such as the New Jersey Jackals, the Sussex Skyhawks of the Can-Am League, and other independent league teams. So, very happy to add Mr. Ott to my collection. I've never gotten him before, and a great pirate from the great pirate dynasty of the 1970s. Very happy to add those. All right, so this next one is Pokesmark from California, and it is 4-4 returns from former Oakland A, New York Yankee, Mickey Klutts on 4, and this one just has his autograph on there, but this you have seen before, and now I have 3 of the 4 on there. So the next plan is to send that to Tom McMillan, and I'll send him this one as well, and hopefully I'll get both of those back, and this one will be completed by McMillan, and then I'll think about writing Allman and Mark Wagner again. So let me tell you a little about Mickey Klutts and his career. Klutts was a California native who attended El Rancho High School, and he was drafted in the 4th round by the New York Yankees in the 1972 draft that year. His full name is actually Gene Ellis Klutts, so I'm not really sure how he got the nickname Mickey, but that's what he goes by, Mickey. And after he signed with the Yankees at 17 years old, From 1972 to 1976, he worked his way up through the Yankees system until he got his call up to the majors at 21 years old. In 1976, appearing in 2 games for the Yankees that year. Well, going into the 77 season, he would return to AAA with another chance to appear in 5 games for the Yankees in 77. Going into the 78 season, he started out with the Yankees. However, he would be traded to the Oakland A's, where the A's would then send him to their AAA affiliate after the trade. Going into the 79 season, he would be on the roster for 24 games in a backup role. By that point, he was playing, the infield for the A's, not as a starter, but as a backup. And from 1980 through 1982, he would be up and down between, the majors and appearing in part-time roles for the team. Going into the 1983 season, the A's released him and he signed a 1-year deal with the Blue Jays, where he would split time between their AAA affiliate and their major league club. And at 28 years old, after the 83 season, Klutts would be out of baseball as a player. I am not sure after his playing days what he did post-playing career. Obviously at 28 years old, he probably went into another profession. I do know that I sent these to California, so I'm going to assume that he returned home to finish out whatever career that he did after his post-baseball career. So very happy to add these to my collection. I'm only one away from finishing this card, so I'm going to be sending that out to Mr. McMillan really soon. I want to thank Mr. Ott for signing his cards as well. And I also want to thank Mr. Wright for signing his cards also. And I hope to send this to Floyd Rayford and get that back returned soon, so stay tuned. Hopefully you'll be seeing these 2 cards, or 3 cards technically, in future episodes of Through the Mail Thursdays. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always, happy collecting.